live from Studio 6B on a Monday, March 25th, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. Real America's Voice. Glad you're in. Lots to do on a busy Monday night. Rick Delgado's got some news. David Zier joins us tonight. He's got some news as well. Slick will be in to do sports. Aaron and Fran holding it down. Harry on the highway in the building as well.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Lots to talk about. Mr. Delgado, how are you?
Oh, my. Well, now I'm completely. Now everything's up in the air. Everything is up in the air. I learned about a new place that's right in town. We got Diddy on the run, and a great day for Donald Trump.
Can nobody hold me down? I think Diddy is, feds hit his houses in L.A. and Miami today simultaneously.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
And now Chuck Colesto's reporting that he may have jumped on the old G5 or G6 prior to this happening and is out of here.
Poof.
No one knows to where. Earlier today, the Gulfstream 650, belonging to the music executive, departed from Van Nuys Airport.
Wow.
Located near Los Angeles, just before Homeland Security conducted a raid on Diddy's residence. The aircraft has since arrived at an airstrip in Barbuda.
Barbuda?
That's what it says.
Is that
doesn't
south
say
of Barbados?
Doesn't say Barbados. It says Barbuda.
Barbuda.
And actually, the airport call letters are BBQ. So, I mean,
maybe he was hungry.
Combs is currently the subject of a federal sex trafficking investigation, and the Fed showed up today.
Holy moly.
Barbuda, at least Chuck Colesto is saying, and I don't know whether to take any of this for fact, says possibly has no U.S. extradition agreements. They think he could be headed for that. But who knows? The whole thing could be all nonsense, and he could be in California for all we know. But this is what's being reported tonight from Chuck Colesto on Twitter.
So you think
Diddy is on the run?
You think maybe he's still in L.A., but he sent the plane, so they're all looking at the plane?
Well, I don't know.
Diversionary tactic?
All these people, it seems like Taylor Swift, everybody knows how to track her plane. So right. I guess these planes can all be tracked. So if this is his plane, it's currently landed in Barbuda.
That's
crazy. Which I don't know much about.
That's nuts. This is just a crazy day. Crazy day.
It is a crazy day. David Zier's here as well. How was your weekend, by the way? We never got to it.
Aside from the downpouring of rain all Saturday, it was fine.
Saturday was brutal.
Saturday was terrible.
It just never ended. It's like living in Seattle.
Oh, my goodness. It was terrible.
Yeah. And freezing, too. David Zier, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for asking.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was great. I took my grandkids to church yesterday. My twin 5-year-old granddaughter, twins. And then I take them for turkey soup at the diner when I'm not traveling. I try to do that as much as possible.
Nice.
We had a sleepover Saturday night.
Nice.
They're my buddies.
Very good. All right. Very good. I'd asked Slick Rick how his weekend was, but he's not here. And I kind of know how his weekend was because...
Why'd you guys hang out?
Well, no, I didn't because I didn't get invited. But Harry Oates hung out with Slick Rick.
Oh.
Harry on the highway and the Slickster were in full St. Patrick's party mode.
Oh, for the St. Patrick's Day
was
parade.
Was he the grand marshal of that parade, or he was involved somehow?
He was the grand something.
Even when he's not the grand marshal.
Yeah,
he ends up being the grand marshal.
Yeah, I think he was the grand marshal. And he had his bright green suit on with his shoes on. And
Slick,
he had
very active in the community.
Purple overcoat and top hat or something.
Did he have any gold doubloons? Did he have like a bucket of gold? Was he running around with?
I don't know. I think he had a bucket of the Budweiser.
There's a video of him dancing out there in the ethos somewhere. Maybe we can get our hands on it.
No, okay.
Get it on TMZ.
Yes.
Wow.
I would put Harry under oath and sit him on the seat here, but I don't think he wants to answer any questions about their night last night. I think they were. I think they were knee deep into the St. Patrick's Day celebration, if you know what I mean.
I think I'm getting an idea.
Yeah, so maybe we'll have to ask Slick, since he'll be sitting in the seat with nowhere to go. We'll just put the pressure on him.
He's not going to talk
if he comes. He very well may not show up, knowing that what him and Harry they just tore up the town last night, and maybe they just went too far, and he doesn't want to face the wrath of Big D.
Now, is this your impression of John Kennedy, the great senator from Louisiana, where you actually know the answer to the question? So
Yes.
you're gonna,
I will make Slick Rick look like a cross-country skier here in about 5 minutes.
Did somebody send you video? That's what I'm asking.
Ted Cruz had the funniest tweet. Do you still call him tweets on X? What are they called now?
Yeah.
What
Tweets,
did he see?
X's, whatever.
Slick Rick and Harry out?
No, but he said that Jeff Spicoli went before the Senate. Very funny. Fast times at Richmond High.
I know what I know about the cross-country skier. Yeah. So I noticed what Harry does to try to keep us. So Harry always ends up taking the video so that he's not in the video.
Right.
I noticed.
Right. So he can be a part of it without the evidence of him actually partaking in
and
anything.
then tries to pawn it off on Slick that he's the real partier.
Right. That he was the problem.
Yeah. So that's the deal. So
all right.
Yeah.
All right. So anyways, we'll get into all that. Sports and news all coming up. David Zier is going to have some by the way, David Zier, big week this week. What's going on Wednesday night?
Very excited. I've been communicating with Dave Bratt, the Dean of Business at Liberty University, former congressman from the 7th District in Virginia. Really just such an asset. You see him on the War Room all the time. I've been interviewing him off and on for many years. I invited him to New York for the America First Warehouse. And we're going to have a one-on-one interview for an hour that can be used as your handbook to argue with your crazy uncle at the Thanksgiving or Easter dinner table about the true state of the economy in America and how do we restore middle-class prosperity in America. So don't miss it. I'm going to package it up, probably show it as my Breaking Point episode this week, and we'll get it out there on social media. But if you can, record Breaking Point this Saturday at 8 a.m. because it'll be chock full of information, the debt, the real numbers, the unemployment numbers, the real job growth, who's getting the jobs part-time, are they illegals, are they non-citizens, what's the real growth rate? Dave Bratt says it's negative 4%. So when you adjust for the debt and the deficit, right? So don't miss it.
I love Dave Bratt. Number one, he's an number one human, just as a normal guy. Just couldn't be nicer when you talk to him. And got rid of who was it? Eric Cantor, right? So we
defeated him.
We like him for that even more.
The only one to ever take out a House majority leader since, I think, 1881 when the position was created back in 2014.
Yeah. And if there's anybody who understands the crisis, the mounting debt bomb that this country is continuing to travel down the path of fiscal insanity, it would be him. And he can describe it in a way that you can understand it and that I can understand it. And if I can understand it, anybody can understand it. So he's very good at that. So very exciting. Wednesday night, Dave Bratt here on Long Island at the America's First Warehouse. And then on Saturday morning, obviously on Breaking Point, 8 a.m. Make sure you stay tuned. So today's one of those days, that they thought, well, Joe and Mika and Tish James and all of the guests that were booked on MSNBC and CNN all day thought they were coming into the studio and they were going to, we were going to go out to those live shots at the golf courses and the hotels and the houses and anything else we could get our hands on. And we were ready to throw the padlocks on with the big keys. And
today was their Christmas.
Today was going to be the day.
Yeah.
And everybody on the left there and over there at MSLSD was all fired up and ready to celebrate 500 million buckaroos that he wasn't going to be able to come up with. And then here we go. And well, as Charlie Hurt put it, and I love Charlie Hurt, over at the Washington Times, on Donald Trump's Judgment Day, Letitia James got spanked. and that's exactly right. And the left on TV today, if you had an award for just most psychopathic response to breaking news, you could have given it to multiple guests on MSNBC today.
Or their hosts.
Or the hosts.
Oh. Either or.
Yeah.
You pick one or the other, it doesn't matter.
Multiple meltdowns.
They were all triggered.
All weekend long.
All triggered. No, we're talking about today because this news didn't break till this morning.
I'm just saying, including Rona McDaniel and the other stuff, they were just unhinged since Saturday. And my award, I guess I can't show this tweet because I actually wrote out how out of your effing mind, but I didn't write effing. I actually wrote the word. Do you have to be a guest on MSNBC? But since we have it as a cut 9, roll that.
And honestly, this is so infuriating. I don't even know what to do. I don't even know if I care what the process is that these judges are arriving at. Whatever it is, it's flawed.
Yeah, flawed.
I can tell you that much.
Sure.
I mean, David put it well. This is a different process for this person.
Yes.
We have decided that he gets his own private court of justice. He has a private plane.
They're admitting it.
He has private clubs that he lives in. Apparently, he basically fashioned himself his own private militia to try to take over the Capitol.
Sure.
Now he's getting his own private system of justice. This is an absolute travesty.
How about the Eighth Amendment, buddy?
Anybody else, it would be like, sorry, buddy, you lost. Pay up. For him, he gets his own set of rules.
I don't think so.
I don't think he's been paying
legally,
attention.
Tristan. How
he's a lawyer
is
too.
that done?
We just saw it. They just decided that the appellate court has now just decided they're going to swoop in and just change it. And that's it. And now the AG's office can now try to go up above them. I believe, I don't know what the details are because you just told us. I'm guessing this is coming from the First Department, Appellate Division, First Department. That's the intermediate court here in New York. That would be issuing a decision here. I don't know if there's a remedy for the AG's office to go up to the Court of Appeals, which is our high court here in New York, and try to get them to basically countermand this order. But in my view, this is, without knowing more, unless there's some sort of other extenuating circumstance that we're going to learn here, this appears to be an absolute gross miscarriage of justice.
Oh, gross.
Oh, so coming from him, Tristan Snell.
Gross. $500 million. Right. That's, no victims, no money out of pocket for anybody. Not like a Bernie Madoff deal. No, Bernie Madoff, by the way, he got away with how many billions? And his bail was, I think, set at, let me think, 10 million. Oh, yeah. And then you have Sam Bankman-Fried. He worked off with about 10 billion or so. His bail was, I think, at 250 million after defrauding, hundreds of billions of dollars from people.
But don't worry, he funneled it back to the Democrat
this guy
Party,
thinks that even the slightest, by the way, 175 million is 175 million still too high.
Right.
Still too high. But he thinks that that's the miscarriage of justice.
I think they can escape an Eighth Amendment appeal by lowering it. That's why they had to do this, because Trump would have kicked their butt.
Right. And let's face it, it's coming from a guy named Tristan Snell. No real man has a name called Tristan. I mean, come on.
You didn't see Legends of the Fall? Tristan?
All right, search crews are out for Slickster. We'll get back to you on that.
Is he still dancing?
But we'll do news. We couldn't check where Harry and him were last night. Maybe we'll start there. We'll call over there in the commercial break and see. We'll get back to you right when we get back, live from Studio 6B on a Monday night. Really wanted a girl, someone said in the chat. Tristan Snell. Live on socials.
Hello, socials.
Hello, socials. Let's go to...
I'm very sociable tonight.
It's good to know. Good to know.
Slick's on his way.
Slick's on his way?
Is he?
He left the... He left the Blarney Stone?
He left the discotheque?
Let's see here. Who we got?
Hey.
Janice from Arizona. Laura.
My question. Hey, Harry, was Slick dancing to
Tommy Viper.
Slick Rick song this weekend?
Lynette.
DJ didn't play that? That thing is like...
Is Harry on the air when he speaks?
I know.
No. I know better than that.
Well, no, I mean... It's
No, don't put him on.
Harry. I'd rather Harry be on the air from where he talks from if we could do that, but...
All right, I need another microphone, some cables.
Okay, got it. Are you on air?
Of course I'm on there.
Okay, good. Because you say funny stuff, so I want to make sure people hear it. Let's see.
Who else? I guess I got to get. Are we on?
Hello, Sue.
Are we on the thing? We're on the thing. We're on the thing?
What?
We're on the thing. Facebook.
Yeah, we're on the thing. The thing meaning Facebook and YouTube?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, genius. We're on.
Oh, I got to send out.
Cynthia says this is the best show ever. Okay.
I got to send out regards and salutations from Paul.
From Paul?
Paul.
I have an idea.
Paul Nolan checking in.
Where did he check in from?
He just texted me.
Okay. What's your idea?
Well, on the socials, maybe we can rotate, like, monitoring them and giving shout-outs to people, like,
Let us know how
switch every night.
You pick one, and he'll pick one.
Not that you have to be exclusive to it, but just an idea.
Let us know how it works.
I've got Kick covered because I'm the only one there.
Shut up, Fran. It's not funny. We're going to build up the Kick.com audience. So right now you're
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Highest views on Kick is 5.
But the
they're all
five
watching.
most important viewers
and that's
out
because,
there.
that's because,
Kick.
that's
We love
because
you.
Fran logged in and out 5 times.
Thank you for watching.
They're all watching. They're too busy watching. What's his name there? Aiden Ross. Whoever.
Who the hell's Aiden Ross?
Yeah, he's a big. I think he's part
He's
owner
big on
of
Kick?
Kick, I think, actually.
It's
Fran said I've got Kick covered. I'm the only one. Oh, God, he is
Were
funny.
you talking to yourself again, David?
No, we were talking in the break, and it was your idea. You said we should have everybody monitor one of the social media chats because we're on Facebook and YouTube, and we stay live with them during the breaks, and we say stupid, funny stuff. And then, so I said, you could take Getter, he could take Facebook, Slick could take YouTube, and then Fran said, I'll take care of Kick.com because I'm the only one there. Which is not funny. We're going to build up the audience over there eventually at some point.
Yes.
So.
And I got to throw a shout out to everybody. Greetings and salutations from Paul Nolan checking in.
Now, is this real Paul Nolan or Paul Nolan's New World Sausage?
Real Paul Nolan. He texted me directly.
Really? During the show?
Yes, just now.
I think he's in the Getter chat, too.
I don't know, but he sent me a picture.
I know he's not doing that. He's got to have something else to do.
He said, please send my love and respect to the audience.
Yes, he always tells me that. Yes. I said that. I think I said this on Friday.
All right.
That I spoke to him, and he said, please send my love to the audience. And I miss him. And I said, well, they miss you.
Yeah. Well, I didn't tell him that part.
Hey, Damon.
I don't want his head.
I told him that.
I just wanted to let you know that viewership on Kick has now doubled.
Harry joined too. Okay. You're not fooling me with that one. I know. That's fine. Let's see here. All right. Well, we're not doing all social media right now. We'll do social media in the breaks if you're on YouTube or Facebook. By the way, if you could like it and share it and get to more people, it would be great. And so we'll get back to you during the break. We'll get to some news. We'll get to some more news on the breakdown of the left today on Donald Trump's bond that he had to post being sliced down to 175 million is the number, which is 175 million too high still.
Yeah. Did you see, by the way, what he said when they were asking him about how he's going to pay it?
I have President Trump from today, and we will get to a little bit of that unless we want to. I mean, let's do news first.
All right.
And then I see Slick is in the building, so we're going to have to put him under oath.
Yes.
And start the inquiry into his night with Harry Oates, and then we'll let him do sports if he answers some questions.
Yes.
And then we'll do David Zier news, and then we'll listen to some of the president from today. Does that sound like a plan?
That sounds like a plan.
All right, let's do it. Let's start with you.
Let's see if we can stick to it.
Yeah, probably not. And news is brought to you by 7cells, 7cells.com. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. They sponsor the news with Rick Delgado. What's going on?
All right. Well, like we were talking about, meltdowns going on around the internet all weekend long, whether it's been over Donald Trump, whether it's been over Rona McDaniel, whether it's been over the story we haven't even touched upon. We mentioned it a little bit on Friday, the terrorist attack in Russia and all this conspiracy theories floating around about this one. But this one is the one I want to start with, Damon, because it has to do with Young Turk's own Anna Kasparian. Mm-hmm. Did you see this?
She's fiery.
She is. She kind of lit it up over the weekend
And
as
she
well.
gets a little sick.
Yes.
She's not like coming over to the normal side of town by any means, but she does get a little sick and fiery at her own side every once in a while.
Right, and this is no exception to that. She was, of course, she and her host. I don't remember the guy's name,
Cenk,
but he was on there.
Yes, Cenk. He started and owns, and it's nice to see that he survived his showdown with Ben Shapiro when he got smoked so bad. I said someone ought to go check on that guy.
I watched. You mean Cenk Uygur?
Yeah,
I watch the Young Turks. Not to interrupt your news. Right. We can talk about it later, but I can't stand them.
At least you're a fan. Yeah. Anyhow, so it turns out Anna Kasparian, she was responding. And you know the case I'm going to talk about, the dismemberment case here on Long Island. There was here's a quick synopsis because she goes into it, but I cut that part out and I didn't include it in what we wanted to play. Is that body parts were found of 2 people in a home. They found 4 people in that home. These people were arrested and then let out without bail. That's the basic, quick little 2-second elevator pitch of what's going on in that case. Basically, people were arrested and they let them out, no bail. They could have been involved in the dismemberment and murder of these 2 older people. So Anna, she's responding because she found out these people were let out of jail without any bail. So here's the cut number 8.
Dismembering a corpse and hiding a corpse after dismembering it, not bail eligible, not a serious crime. I'm not even kidding, guys. Like when Joy Behar outlined that case, I was like, she's crazy. This isn't a thing. This isn't real. This isn't real. So I looked it up. It's real, guys. It's real. Listen, if being on the left means supporting this, then I'm not on the left, and I'm okay with that. So let me give you the details of the case.
It doesn't mean that.
Okay, I don't know. Let me give you the
details. On the left. We're all on the left. We don't want people dismembering folks getting released. Only a couple of lunatic.
Some do.
I know. What I was in the middle of saying is only a couple of lunatic activists are like, we're pro dismemberment guys being let go. Okay, whatever. You don't represent the left at all.
Dismembered bodies. It's so unfair to put them in prison. Okay, let me give you the details of the actual case. Okay.
So now
what are we doing?
Here's part number 2.
What are we doing?
She's talking about.
What are we doing, Cenk? What are we doing? What are we doing? Someone tell me, what the F are we doing?
Yeah, look, no one signed up for this. I don't know how the hell any of these laws passed. I went to every progressive conference there was over the last 20 years. I never heard a single person saying, why don't we let the actual criminals go? Hey, if someone butchers someone and chops them up into little pieces, let's do the kind of criminal justice reform where they would be able to walk out free.
Yeah, come at me right now and tell me I'm the bad guy because I want these people who dismembered corpses and tried to conceal the evidence in prison. Come at me and tell me I'm the bad guy. Come at me.
I don't look, guys.
Insane. You guys are insane. Anyone who thinks this is okay is insane. And everyone else in New York has to suffer the consequences of this with random bag checks at the subway by National Guard troops.
Yeah. So there you have it. She's a little triggered on this story.
His party wants murderers out of prison,
right,
to parole them at 50 years old. He's lying, and I like her a lot. I think she's a conservative waiting to come over in some ways. I listen to her a lot. She makes sense sometimes.
Well, she makes sense on this. And again, she went into the details. There's a spot in between there that went into she read up a bunch of the details of this case where, the DA's presenting, we have mountains of evidence. These people were concealing. They were trying to hide things. All the stuff that was leading to them. They had blood in the pipes. They had all this stuff. And meanwhile, they got the little ankle bracelets put on, and they were let go.
Too bad they don't share their dismemberment outrage for I don't know, like the unborn. Right? They don't have any outrage about that.
Yeah, at 9 months.
That they're okay with and whatever. But this, I mean, I guess it's good that they have outrage somewhere, but it would seem that you'd have outrage on both ends of the life cycle, the beginning and the end.
Right.
Anna shows glimmers of hope for the liberals. Once in a while, she makes sense. So,
well,
yeah,
I don't want to go overboard and say she's a conservative.
Broken clock deal, one of those deals, probably. Yeah.
No, but she takes independent stances against Cenk, who's like totally in the tank.
Well, for him to sit there and go, I don't know what you're talking about. People getting criminals out of jail.
Bail reform.
That is what it was all about, was getting criminals out and making sure they stayed out.
5,000 attacks in New York by people let out on no bail since it happened in 2019.
So switching gears a little bit, let's jump over the water into Puerto Rico, where Kamala Harris was on hand. She was out there doing a little make nice with the Puerto Rican people, and this is what they had for her. They played her a little song, cut number 2. Check this out. There she is, clapping along right there in the middle.
Mrs. Vice President, this song is about Palestine and making sure all the Jews are killed from the river to the sea. Oh. Maybe I won't clap anymore.
Maybe I won't clap. Oops.
See?
Yeah.
That was the actual translation of what the girl was saying to her.
There was no Venn diagram for that amount of stupidity.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to
I swear to drink the whole bar, nothing but the whole bar.
That's what we've heard.
So help me, mixer. What's up, Big D?
You survived.
Oof, what a night. What a day. What a mess that was. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I went there at 1 o'clock to take some pictures of a parade.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We're live on socials, remember, right
That's
now.
all right.
So.
I'm sure you did.
What a mess.
How'd those pictures come out?
That's what happens when you know a lot of people.
You got pictures for us?
No, I got no pictures. Harry probably has something. But
No, he does. He's got some videos, too, which I now have.
I was wearing the March collection for the calendar.
I saw. I saw.
And, yeah, we had a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a long day, though. Man, I didn't stick to that rule, right? What is it, beer before liquor gets sick quicker? No. Exactly. That's the other
Liquor
side of it.
before
Well,
beer,
I didn't practice that one, yeah. I had liquor, and then I had beer, and then I had liquor. That's not good.
And then you were not in the clear.
No, I was not in the clear. Harry on the highway came to save me. He flew in.
Did he actually save you, or
Harry lives right around the block from all this activity. It's crazy. He's right in the area. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we didn't know there was a night sports bar around here.
Yeah, Cairns. I know Cairns. My buddy's son actually started that whole chain years ago. Yep.
Really?
He sold it, yeah.
Yeah, I remember those guys. What was his name?
Laredo.
Maybe,
Tammy Laredo.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, Westbury was big for a long time.
Yep. Big, huge.
7 years, 5 years.
He started that one. They had one.
They had a huge Cairns in Westbury.
Yeah, they had one in Patchogue on 112.
Slick, we're going there tonight to have some beers.
No, I'm done.
That only lasted
I swear it off.
3 years.
What? I am so dry. Forget about it. I'm on the wagon now. No, my wife just
like
laughs.
a man who got in trouble when he got home.
No,
I
didn't get in trouble. But man, oh man, oh gosh. Yeah, that was quite a night. Yeah, that's what happens. 8 hours. We try to get Big D, but he's so antisocial, forget about it. The only time he invites you over to the house is when somebody passes away. Oh, come on over. We're having a funeral dinner. Come on over. Hey, meet the depressed. Come on. Oh man,
Stiff competition.
Yeah, tell me
Wait,
about
did I see comments from Kick.
Yes, there are some people in there now.
All right.
it. All right,
All our friends at kick.com. Slick Rick is cute, someone said from there.
man. Good Lord.
Fran, don't write that.
People over at Slick Rick, people over at Kick blind or what?
Oh, thanks.
All right, right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday night. Slick's going to do some sports now that he's here. We're going to have to put him under oath before that. Delgado's going to do some news. But right now, let's do some news with the host of Breaking Point, 8 a.m. on Saturday mornings. And this Saturday morning, he's going to have Dave Bratt, of course, on. And it's going to be a great show. It's going to tape tomorrow night. Wednesday night over at the America's First Warehouse. Yeah. And it'll be broadcast on Saturday morning on Breaking Point. And he is David Zier. Mr. Zier, what's going on?
Oh man, what a day! What a day!
So Slick's saying too.
The whole system is like in turmoil. So a lot of good news for Trump, some bad news for Trump. Bragg wants to have this trial. The judge ruled the trial's going to start April 13th. I don't know if that's going to stick. They've been slow in handing over documents in this case, and there's more. And then Alvin Bragg says, there's only like 200 documents that are important or something like that.
Well, Bragg asked for an extension, and the word today from some of the people I heard talking about this I was driving in to the studio was that they think he's going to ask for another one.
Well,
there's like 10,000 documents.
They got problems. They got perjury. They got all kinds of stuff to deal with. But
you know what the real problem they have is when Michael Cohen's own lawyer takes the stand to testify against Michael Cohen, who they're going to use as their star witness. Well, this case is a joke with their novel legal theory that they've come up with.
Sure, and Sixth Amendment guarantees you right to competent counsel. So if they don't have time to review these documents, then they're not getting effective counsel, right? So so many problems with what's going on here. But, Rona McDaniel was on NBC as her, I guess, debut.
Her new home.
So what did I say on Thursday or Friday here? That she's going to have to renounce her stand on the election because she always said there was election fraud. So she goes and grovels to them. But it wasn't good enough for them. They kept hammering it even after she said, well, there were irregularities. And then they talked to her about J6. And, she just doubles down that J6ers should stay in prison and, anybody who attacked the Capitol that day. And then she clarified it and said anyone who was violent that day. But, no answer is ever going to satisfy the people on the left. But Chuck Todd goes off the rails. Right. And he's criticizing, how could they hire her? Well, Mark Levin pointed out tonight, Psaki. All these people worked in political positions, mostly for Democrats who are on the major networks. Even Fox brings on a lot of Democrats. Psaki, we know worked for the president. The LA Times, WAPO reporters, New York Times writers, they all went on to work, for Democratic administrations going the other way, coming from the media into the Biden administration, the Clinton administration, the Obama administration. Jake Tapper worked for a Democratic congressman, and the networks only hire never Trumpers. So I think Rona McDaniel made it clear, even though she's praised Donald Trump, her true colors came out. I don't know if it's about money or what, but very disappointing. Her premier, she should have stuck to her guns and said, listen, you guys hire me, tough snots. I'm going to take a stand here and stick by my guns. Instead, she grovels and embarrasses the right. But she's not on the right. So
propagandists talking to propagandists, talking to more propagandists
fake outrage.
Who have thoughts on old propagandists. Chuck Todd, to have thoughts on anybody coming on a network and talking about stuff that he may think is not the truth is such a laughable joke, as that's what he did for a living.
He worked for Dem operatives and politicians.
Well, of course, he worked for Schumer, too. They've all worked for him. It's all ancestral intertwining between all these little Georgie with the Clintons and all of them. All of them. But for Chuck Todd to fake outrage about what someone says on TV is laughable. I mean, are you kidding me? This is the guy is an expert propagandist. He's always done his whole career. He's going to be worried about what Rona McDaniel says?
Unbelievable. And I just have some really quick clips for you. Cut number 1, 20 seconds. Keith Ellison blaming the automakers for the high auto theft rates.
We've also got to go upstream. We've got to make sure that the automobiles are not so easy to steal so that they're a tempting, attractive nuisance for young people. And, right now we are investigating 2 major automakers because their cars are dramatically too easy to steal for young people.
Yeah. Especially when the people are driving them and they rip them right out of the car and drive off on them. They made
with
it
the
so
baby
easy.
seat in the back.
What the hell is this guy talking about?
I say,
really, what in the hell?
Saudi Arabia is right about one thing: you lose your hand if you steal a car. But I gotta say, these people are completely unhinged. And then there's an elected official. I think this person's in Minnesota, a state rep trans, talking about being like a sanctuary state for trans people. Cut number 3.
Right. If you promise trans a refuge, then we need to increase the number of people who are offering gender affirming care, because we already had a shortage and now more people are coming.
Looks like someone I would
so
trust.
we have some money. Hopefully we can pass to
How does this
help
guy get
entice
elected?
people to
Who
move
voted for
from
this
those
dude?
states who also practice gender affirming care.
Sure.
If you live in Missouri and all your clients can no longer access care, well, if they're leaving, you might also be interested in coming with your clients, right? And going to a place where you can serve without prosecution.
You could blow it up.
Lucky that I was not sitting there. I would have asked the question.
Yeah, right.
What would you have asked?
Where is it?
And I just have a 1-minute clip of Joe the Box from the America First Warehouse. He's super ultra MAGA patriot, goes out on a limb, not afraid of anybody. Cut number 5. Kathy Griffin picked up on his little thing on Instagram.
You guys, you gotta watch this guy. There's a video. I heard there's a patriot protest at my show tonight, which could mean Nazis, at a Kathy Griffin comedy show. So,
now she's a victim.
if I know my audience members, they'll probably be just posing and taking pictures with these fools. And I don't know how many of them are going to show up. But,
she's a piece of...
it's regarding a certain photo I took nearly 7 years ago that they can't get over. All right, have a look yourself.
Oh, the time makes it okay
This
now.
is Joe the Box. Good morning from the America First Warehouse, the most patriotic place on the planet. Donald Trump, our great president. Remember when he was running for president? There was this really funny comedian, Kathy Griffin. She's coming to New York, coming to Huntington. Guess what? We'll be outside. Guess what we found, too? Johnny, help me out over here. We got her head, just like she did for our president.
So
she posted that?
Love it.
She posted it on
She's a
Instagram.
moron.
She just gave him...
Oh, my
Because
goodness.
she appeared at the Paramount yesterday in Huntington, she's looking for local shows here. And there was a protest that the Belmore Patriots ran along with the America First Warehouse. I'll just play like 20, 30 seconds of this, cut number 6. This is outside the theater.
The horns outside.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So people were having meltdowns because in Huntington Town on Long Island, there's so many liberals. It's like elitist liberal country. They didn't know what to do. Their heads were exploding.
They were exploding.
It's Biden tied up in the back.
If you look in the background, I think you can see Slick Rick dancing. I think
Look, this lady went up and tried to rip the flag off.
Oh, my God.
What a Karen. Get out of here.
Get out. Oh, my
This guy's good.
She should never done what she did to Trump. She shouldn't be here on Long Island. She should never have a job again in the rest of her life. Nobody should ever put a behead out there on anyone. I don't care if it's Democrat, Republican. So we're here to prove a point to her. Get the hell off of Long Island, never come back.
Man's right.
Thank you.
So anyway, that's what's going on here on Long Island.
Long Island.
It is MAGA country.
You gotta love it.
So hopefully it'll stay.
People think that wacky New York. It's not out here. Not out here. It's not in Long Island.
Oh,
no. It's pretty red.
So that's all I got for now.
Good for Joe the Box.
Yeah.
Joe. Yeah.
Got Kathy Griffin to bite.
Right.
Yeah,
At least 25 extra people now know who he is.
I tell you, Joe's very funny. So he's a very
Harry,
funny
if you're
guy.
talking to me, I have no idea what you're saying. So it's got to be louder than that. All right, Slick, let's do some sports. Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay. Is it true that you and Harry were dancing on top of the bar at the St. Patrick's Day celebration?
You know, I don't recall. Isn't that usually what they say?
You're supposed to say, thank you for the question.
Yeah. I defer my time back to Delgado.
All right, let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell and My Pillow. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. Slickster, what's going on?
Well, how about that tournament, Big
Sounds
D?
like you're going on.
How about that bracket, huh? Woof, that was something there. The NCAA Final Four bracket.
I haven't checked my bracket.
Yeah, you see Yabu? Yabu is number 2. He must be, that's the Yabu who did
Are you kidding me?
Rick Sports. Yeah, he's number 2. I'm at 173. I'm doing terrible. I think we're all in the one somethings. Yeah, that's Yabu. I'm pretty sure that's all Yabu. That's number 2 in the picks, in the graphics.
So he can write songs and pick games.
Yeah, apparently that's who it is. Unless somebody else is using his name, I hope not. But yeah, good stuff. So we're getting into the Elite 8 this weekend. Can't wait. We'll obviously have updates. Not a lot of stories coming out of there. Nothing too major. But boys are keeping it clean and behaving themselves and getting ready for the big tournament now this coming up this weekend.
Boy,
so
I'm terrible.
We're excited
163.
with that. Yeah, I'm right behind you.
How am I doing?
Yabu is number 2.
Yeah.
2.
You believe that?
And he's got UConn winning it all.
Yeah, but
as do I.
He's got a good shot. UConn's got a darn good shot as well. Houston barely got out of Dodge last night, huh? Houston almost blew that game.
I mean, if UConn wins a game by less than 10, I'll be surprised.
Yeah, they look good. And so Boo Sports.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm in 8th.
You're in 8th now?
Yeah, I'm in 8th. Big D.
Oh, you have a Big D? Who's LFS 6B? You have that one too, right?
I don't know who LFS 6B picks 1.
Is that one of our followers?
I thought that was me.
I thought that
but
was
now
you
I
too.
see 8 being Big D. Well, maybe that's not
Maybe
me.
somebody's using Big D as
yeah.
Well, I'll take credit for it. I'm 8th.
Do you not know your own name, or
it's definitely not him. If he didn't know it on Friday, he doesn't know it today.
I don't think it's mine.
I
don't think I did 2 brackets.
That was a big duplicate. All right, here we go. We got some scores right now going on. NHL just 2 games tonight. Golden Knights over the Blues 1-0, 7 to go there in the first period. And Kings out in Vancouver taking on the Canucks, 9 p.m. puck drop. And then NBA action. What do we got going on? A couple of games there. We got the Knicks right now leading the Pistons. Knicks playing good at the half, 59-42 in the Garden. We got the Spurs and Suns tied, 37-27 San Antonio leading that game. And also the Celtics winning as usual at the half, 74-56 down in Atlanta over the Hawks. Some sad news that occurred over the weekend here. New York volleyball coach commits suicide by train after rape allegations. What a mess this is right on Long Island here. Olivia Rondo from Breitbart Sports, a male volleyball coach at an all-girls New York high school, took his own life by stepping in front of a train after being accused of raping a 15-year-old player. Officials said, some may say it's good news, but it's just a mess anyway. Bad stuff. Jason Mesa, 22, was a part-time coach at the Sacred Heart Academy on Long Island when he allegedly raped a teen victim on at least 2 occasions in his vehicle on February 7th and March 7th, the New York Post reported. After being arraigned on third-degree rape and criminal sex charges and released on $75,000 bail Friday morning, news broke out of the disturbing accusations. Mesa's body was found later that night after he intentionally walked in front of a Long Island Railroad train near the Syosset Station. Metropolitan Transportation Authority Police Department spokesman Michael Cortez said the fatal collision occurred at around 10:35 p.m. with the disgraced coach being pronounced dead at the scene. Mesa left a suicide note before his death. Cortez added his lawyer John Carmen told Newsday that his client's family was devastated by his death. While they process what has occurred, they are concerned for the young woman involved, Carmen added. So obviously it goes on a little bit longer. I know we got to wrap the sports up, but so Sacred Heart Academy, very sad news, bad tragedy all around.
Hi, live from Studio 6B. More news, sports, all coming up on a Monday night. Real America's Voice.
Someone had a
BTC.
Someone had a new T-shirt for me, and I forgot what it said.
It was that good, huh?
Something Zier. Harry knows it.
Zier in arrears.
Have no Zier.
Zier is in arrears.
Have no fear. Zier is here, or something. No, it was something funnier than that.
We got to get a deep.
Yeah, you do. You got to come up with something. There's so many things that rhyme with Zier.
Rear.
Yabu. How about Yabu, number 2?
Yabu's number 2.
Slick Rick.
Not only does he
watch this guy win the whole thing.
Oh, the only thing we have to Zier is Zier itself.
And that's good.
No, it was a good one. Somebody said that. I don't know who said that.
Yeah, that's the only thing you have to fear is Zier himself.
The only thing we have to Zier
is only thing you have to fear is Zier himself. Harry on the highway.
Oh my God! Sorry for yawning, audience, in the social media. I'm catching up. I have to take a cat nap between breaks. All right, I'm good now, and I got my Celsius free advertising. Why does everybody make fun of Damon and say he's going to the bathroom?
Because
in the Facebook chat, somebody said dumping Damon heading for a download. But they do that in Getter too. Let's see what Kick has to say about this, but I can't log in. Why can't I log in?
Because it doesn't exist. No, I'm kidding. I'm sure it does. Somewhere.
It is. I'm here with 6 people.
Okay, awesome.
Can't.
6 people in the chat.
Won't let me log in.
Delgado. Getting practice for the rest of the week.
Yes. I know.
Uh-oh. No, he's at Cairns.
Oh, we're starting. Hey, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Monday night. Howdy. All right, David Zier is here. He's got some news. Slick Rick. We'll do some more sports with him in just a little bit. But why don't we start with some interesting news? Again, there was a lot of stuff going on over the weekend. I'm sure at some point tonight we might hit on the Russia thing. I have some theories about that, by the way. I'm not buying the story they're selling. I'll just tell you that right off the bat. I don't think this is some ISIS thing. So, no. I think it's a little deeper than that, but we'll get into that a little bit later. In the meantime, real quick, talking about 2024 presidential election news, Robert Kennedy Jr., RFK Jr., looks like he's set to announce his VP tomorrow in Oakland, and there's chatter out there that it could be a woman by the name of Nicole Shanahan.
Yep.
Now, if you don't know who she is, don't worry. Most people don't. But from what I understand, she's a big money donor. And that's something that I guess RFK is going to need if he's going to get on the ballot around the country. And I guess she's a fairly, she falls in line with his politics as well. But she's a big money person. She also has a connection to Oakland, and remember, he confirmed that his running mate has ties to the Oakland area, and he says he has great affection for Oakland, that his father campaigned there and got tremendous support there in 1968, and it's kind of it made everybody think, oh well, Oakland, Berkeley, that's going to be Aaron Rodgers, but now it's looking like it's going to be Nicole Shanahan is going to be picked as his running mate, and so we'll see what happens with that. Again, that announcement is going to be happening tomorrow. So we'll look out for that. In the meantime, though, across the Bay Bridge from Oakland in San Francisco, this story dropped over the weekend. I don't know if you guys caught this from Zero Hedge. Check out this Paul Pelosi Jr. headline as Nancy Pelosi's son dodges charges in money laundering mail fraud scheme linked to San Francisco Flophouse.
Really?
Yes, you read that correct. Nancy Pelosi's son has dodged. Check out the the words they use here. Has dodged the hammer of justice. This is
come on.
Stop right there.
You photoshopped this.
It's not.
Get out of here.
Nancy Pelosi's son has dodged the hammer of justice for the 7th time.
He got nailed.
After being excluded from a case in which 2 fraudsters linked to Paul Jr. are set to be sentenced in a money laundering and mail fraud scheme, including shady dealings over a San Francisco flop house that Pelosi Jr. claimed, according to the Daily Mail. Bill Garlick and Gina Rodriguez scammed investors in fronting over $1 million of supposed real estate ventures and instead used the cash to pay for their lifestyle, including rent, loan payments, credit cards, and you're not even going to believe. I don't know if this is real or Zero Hedge just saying, hey, you know what, we kind of like your Paul Pelosi stuff. Horse related expenses, according to the San Francisco federal prosecutor's name. It's in the store.
What is going on here?
It's Zero Hedge.
They're watching. They must be watching the show.
Maybe somebody does. Yep. The two obtained money from the investors by means of material false and fraudulent pretenses.
Was it a unicorn investor?
It could have been unicorn activities. I don't know.
Unicorn investors. You gotta watch for them.
One project which the pair presented to duped investors was a renovation of a dilapidated mixed-use building at the corner of Utah and 24th, which Paul Pelosi claimed. Yeah.
Avoided the hammer.
Avoided the hammer of justice.
They watch the show.
Horse-related activities. Expenses.
I mean, that's almost too good to believe.
It really is crazy. Like I mentioned, the dilapidated mixed-use building at the corner of Utah and 24th, which Pelosi Jr. claimed to own 20% of, was involved in a 2017 bribery scheme to obtain permits for the property, a move which led to the imprisonment of city officials and an engineering consultant following an FBI sting. So there you have it. A little Paul Pelosi.
Now I'm waiting for the clip, the 2 a.m. clip. Come on.
That's Friday. That's Friday.
That is unbelievable.
That's crazy, right?
That is hysterical.
Yeah, the company controlled by Garlick and Rodriguez, according to the Daily Mail reports, according to the property manager and permit applications. There it is. That's what was happening there. That's him avoiding justice. Where did I lose my place? Oh, Pelosi Jr. continued to be intimately involved with flop houses and this flop house after its sale to the two fraudsters. So there you have a little Paul Pelosi news. And one more piece of news for you there, Damon, if you don't mind. Nancy Pelosi, mom was out. Now, I'm not exactly sure when she said this, though it looks like it could be fairly recent.
Now, was she at the Blarney Stone with Slick Rick and Harry Oates? That's the main question.
No.
That would fit the bill for her.
No.
Talk about drinking the bar out of town. I mean,
yeah, and she didn't sound like she was slurring her words on this. It came out pretty cut and dry, where she says the quiet part out loud. Check this out, cut number 7.
Keep government open. We have to do those imminently, more imminently even, to address the full Obama agenda of building back better and I love to say building back better.
This was after she left the Blarney Stone, obviously.
No, this was before she got there.
Well, how long ago is this clip from?
I think it was fairly recent because it sounds like she's talking about passing the spending bill that just went through. Again, I can't seem to date this clip.
I don't know when it was.
But it just came out this weekend.
Yeah.
But it still makes you think, well, why would she say Obama build back better? Unless maybe she's cluing you in that, guess what?
Well, we know it's not Biden's build back better. It's got to be somebody else's. He's as good a choice as anyone else behind the scenes to be,
Right. Mashed potato brains probably isn't really doing it.
What's he doing over in England, meeting with whatever?
Yes.
last week.
That's another thing. I was going to talk about that, but we didn't get a chance last week.
Well, I brought it up last week. What's he doing over there?
Yeah, it's a little strange that happens and all of a sudden this attack in Russia. I don't know if they're linked. Just asking the question.
I think he was over there more for what we saw today this despicable, absolutely despicable non-vote, abstaining from the vote in the UN Security Council with this reprehensible knife to the back of Israel. We've been talking about the Biden turn on Israel now for seemingly 3 months. But if you had any doubts about it, it's just, you can't have any doubts after today. A UN Security Council resolution that we abstain from voting. It otherwise then passes with unanimous votes other than us who abstain from voting. And it basically doesn't even name Hamas in the resolution. And it asks Israel basically to give up everything they're doing, tie their hands behind their back. And oh, by the way, you doing all of that is going to have no ties to whether or not they release any hostages.
Right. And according to White House spokesman John Kirby, he said it's a non-binding resolution, so there's no impact at all on Israel.
Right.
And
money's
Israel's
not fungible.
ability.
This is the same idiot who told us when we released all this money to Iran that it's still in the account. Don't worry about it. It's not fungible. Don't worry about it. This is the same guy.
He says it doesn't impact Israel's ability to go after Hamas. As I said in my opening statement, he says it does not represent a change at all in our policy. Yeah, not really buying that, but whatever. So you get the idea what's coming out of the White House from John Kirby, the Biden administration, or I should say the Obama administration. And there you have it, some news.
On the way out, let's show my favorite tweet of the day. Keep talking about this.
Yeah. 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 Well, Musk was hammering him, right?
Don Lemon's old news now. Show's not over. He has a right to put it on. He can post it on X. He's just not going to have any deal with him. Yeah, he says he's free to post his stupid shows on X, but he's just not going to do what he's doing with Tucker. Tucker dropped Tulsi Gabbard today. I'm interested to watch that.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
I have no idea, Harry.
I can't.
I thought she was going to be on our network. Whatever happened with that?
I mean, an offer to do what? Come on, stop.
She couldn't hold it together.
Once a month? I mean, what?
When do you feel like working, Roseanne?
We could do it here at the top of the hour. Yeah, we probably won't show the whole thing, but I don't know. It's pretty good. I haven't watched it all. I've seen just moments of it. I actually would. Woman is fighting for her life, 59 years old, after being stabbed by a 12-year-old boy in her own driveway?
Wow, where was that?
What the hell is going on? I have no idea. It doesn't say.
Jeez. It's crazy.
right, live from Studio 6B, Hour 2 on a Monday night, March 25th, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. Slick's doing sports. Rick Delgado's doing the news. David Zier, host of Breaking Point right here on America's Voice. Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. is doing news as well. Harry on the highways in the house. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. So we started the show by talking about how, well, the left was just, they were ready for a day of celebration today. And, well, they didn't get it, and it sent them into a tailspin that continues tonight on all of their shows. But President Trump did a presser again, which forced all of these shows after they've all said, we're not going to show anything he says anymore. Well, they were forced to show his victory lap today. Most of them, as I tuned in, had it on, at least some of it. So this is about 9 minutes. I don't know we'll show the whole thing, but the president, once again, Charlie Hurt's piece today in the Washington Times is really good, by the way. You should read it. He just talks about this guy just continues to find a way to win. He continues to find a way to fight, continues to find a way to dominate the media, dominate the news cycle. He just owns the media in his back pocket, and he continues to make them cover him. And he showed that again today, as he just absolutely controlled the room, controlled the press, went at it with them, but just commanded the room, as he always does once again. Here's a little bit of the president today. Roll that, Aaron.
President, can you get an acquittal in this trial, in the Merchan trial?
Well, I shouldn't have a trial. This is not a trial. This is not an act of criminality.
But you are having one. So do you
I don't know if we're having one. We're going to be appealing right now. I can tell you that. We did nothing wrong, just like I did nothing wrong in the other case. My statements, my financial statements, were conservative. They were low, not high. I mean, he valued Mar-a-Lago at a tiny fraction of what it is. He's the fraud. He created a fraud in order to help his narrative and her narrative, because he does whatever she wants. And the judge is really, what he's done is fraudulent. He made Mar-a-Lago, you know it very well, Maggie. He made Mar-a-Lago into $18 million. I had many offers. They said, I'll give you 19. Okay? You could take half of the living room is worth more than that. So it's worth anywhere from 50 to 100 times that amount, and he stays with it. So he's either whacked out or dishonest, one or the other, or both, probably both. But he's a disgrace to the system, and I think that New York State was helped a lot today by the decision. I'll give you an example. Truth Social is doing very well. It's hot as a pistol and doing great, and it's going public. And the New York Stock Exchange wants to have us badly. And I told him, we can't do the New York Stock Exchange. You treat it too badly in New York. We don't want to do the New York Stock Exchange. And the people at the Stock Exchange are very, very upset about it. The top person is mortified, can't believe it. He said, I'm losing business because of New York, because people don't want to be in New York and they don't want to go to the New York Stock Exchange. So you can ask them about it. But, how can you do that? I'd love to go on the New York Stock Exchange. It was always, it would be a big thing to go on the New York Stock Exchange. That'd be nice. But people aren't going on the New York Stock Exchange now because of what's happening in New York, because they don't want to be attacked by a thug like this horrible attorney general that we have in New York, the worst in the whole country. So we'll decide about Truth Social and what we do with it. But there's just an example of how this is hurting New York and New York State. Yeah.
Mr. President, can you give us a little bit more detail about the timing of when you plan to secure the bond and how exactly you're planning to pay the bond?
Well, as I say, I have a lot of cash. You know I do, because you looked at my statements. I mean, you've been examining my statements for a long time, and I have much more than that in cash. But I would also like to be able to use some of my cash to get elected. They don't want me to use my cash to get elected. They don't want that. They don't want me taking cash out to use it for the campaign. And they looked at it, and this judge looked at it, and he's part of the whole deal. And, well, he's such a disgrace for this city. Again, the most overturned judge. There's never been, that we can find, a case where a judge has been overturned now 5 times. It was 4 times, now it's 5 times. Been overturned. But I have a lot of cash and a great company. I mean, to think they want to go after a company. This is a great company, a company that's doing very well. I've got very low debt on buildings, like this building. I have very low debt on this building. Most buildings I have no debt. Most clubs I have no debt. Look at my greatest assets, I have no debt. I didn't even include like brand value. And the brand value is, I became president because of the brand, let's say. But the brand value is, it's one of the most valuable brand values. I think I wouldn't swap it for any other brand in the world. Trump. I don't even put anything down for it. I had very conservative statements. And the way they made him look bad is by valuing Mar-a-Lago at $18 million instead of what the real value is, which was at least 50 to maybe 100 times more. Think of that. This is the fraud. They're creating a fraud, and they're hurting the state so badly. And then I can't go into the New York Stock Exchange because I can't do business, because I don't want to do, not because I can't, because I don't want to do business in New York. And the people at the New York Stock Exchange, I can tell you right now, and they're very fine people, they're not happy. Yeah, you were going to say something.
Mr. President, you mentioned the cash you have. You said on Friday it's something like $500 million. You intended to put some of that into the campaign. Now that the bonds
By the way, just hold it for a second, Aaron. As you're watching this and it's back and forth with the press, just Joe Biden has not done something like this almost his entire presidency. He certainly doesn't do this where he'll just go around and point and go, yeah, you. Right. He could never do this. So as you watch this back and forth and the president command the room here and talk to every one of these lowlifes as they try to get your questions onto him, just remember the current president can barely put a subject and a predicate together to even people where he knows the question that's coming. Go ahead.
Start putting money into your campaign? You haven't done that since 2016.
Well, first of all, it's none of your business, I mean, frankly. But I might do that. I have the option. But if I have to spend $500 million on a bond, I wouldn't have that option. I'd have to start selling things. I don't have to sell anything because it's a phenomenal company. Look, I built a phenomenal company. Someday they'll actually report that. I built a phenomenal company that's very low leverage, unbelievably low leverage, with a lot of cash, a lot of everything else. Why should I let a crooked judge make a decision to give $450 million that allows me to spend very little money on my campaign if I so choose? I'll be spending money on my campaign. I might spend a lot of money on my campaign, but I should have that option. A crooked judge shouldn't say, we're going to have you post a bond and take all of that money that I could be spending on a campaign or other things if I want to do other things. So we were gratified by the professionalism of the opinion today. I thought it was I think it's a very important opinion for New York, but the only thing that's going to really solve that problem is when I win, because you're going to have to win. Because no company is going to be coming to New York if I don't win that case. That case is a scam, it's a sham, and it's a hoax.
How does this solve that problem?
Accept money from a foreign government to pay the bond or fines or
no, I don't do that. I think you'd be allowed to, possibly. I don't know. I mean, if you go borrow from a big bank, many of the banks are outside of this. As you know, the biggest banks, frankly, are outside of our country. So you could do that, but I don't need to borrow money. I have a lot of money. I built a great company, but I don't want to have a crooked judge named Engoron and a crooked, horrible, the worst, I would say without question, Attorney General in the country, the most obnoxious and the worst Attorney General in the whole country. And she did it for political reasons. Go back and take a look at her ads. We will stop Trump. She knows nothing about me. I'd never heard of her. She was advertising and she took ads in saying, we will stop Trump. We will stop him. Vicious. I said, boy, that's a bad one. Then I looked, she got elected. But then she tried to do it with the governor. And it didn't work. She went after the current governor, who's much more talented than she is. She went after the current governor. She was very nasty. And she polled at about 3%. She polled at nothing. And after 6 weeks or 7 weeks, she pulled out of the race. She ran for governor, on what she was doing to me. She thought that would work. It didn't work. I just think that it's very important that, this is a time when businesses have a choice to go to a lot of places, including other countries. They don't have to stay in our country, but they can certainly go also to a lot of other states. A lot of people going to Texas, Florida, Tennessee, North Carolina, a lot of South Carolina, and you have a lot of competition. You shouldn't be persecuting people that have done a great job. I paid $300 million approximately over the years in taxes here. $300 million. That's a lot of money. And you're going to lose those people that pay all that money. And you're not even going to have a state anymore. They just won't be able to do it. Yep.
Sir, but back to the trial here in 3 weeks. Do you plan to testify? And are you concerned?
The which hearing?
The trial here.
I don't know that you're going to have the trial. Well, I don't know how you can have a trial like this in the middle of an election, a presidential election, And this is a Biden trial. These are all Biden trials because Colangelo worked for Biden.
Bingo.
Can you imagine they take a guy out of DOJ and they put him into the Attorney General's office and then into the Manhattan DA's office to go after Trump? These are all Biden trials, so I don't know that you're going to have it. I think we're going to get some court rulings. Yeah, please.
But will you testify if that trial goes forward in Puerto?
I would have no problem testifying. I didn't do anything wrong.
And would you be concerned that a conviction, if you are convicted in that trial,
see, you hear the questions?
Well, it could also make me more popular because the people know it's a scam. It's a Biden trial. This is a Biden. There is no trial. There's a Biden trial. Colangelo, the man who stood up, had the nerve to actually stand up and take over. You know, he's been sitting in the background for the last year. Today he went right up front because they figure he buffaloed the whole public and the writers, including you people. He got up buffaloed. They forgot. They didn't, a little while ago. Time sort of people forget with time. They don't have good memories. I do. They don't have good memories. But Colangelo from the DOJ was put there to go after Trump.
Yep.
And today he stood up and he took over the whole office. He's been running the whole thing. He's been signing the letters. He's been doing things for a long time. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. This is all done by the Democrat Party, and it's all done by Biden and his group. I don't know if it's Biden because I don't know if Biden is even sharp enough. I don't know if Biden knows what's happening. I want to know the truth. Maybe he does.
He doesn't.
He probably does. But this is all done by Biden and the thugs that work for Biden. And it's a very bad thing. It's a very dangerous thing for our country. Thank you all very much.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great job.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, that's, the president is on point.
Yeah. I didn't get to watch that, so it's nice to see, but I did catch this one thing that he said. Did you see this part? Cut number 4A.
Thank you very much. What's your collateral for the bond?
Cash. And lots of it.
I got cash, baby.
Yeah, I saw that.
What was I missed that. What was that on MSNBC reported it like that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
That's it, man.
Yeah. Well, that was over at the courthouse.
Cool cat.
Right. I think the one we just watched was at Trump Tower.
Yeah.
Downstairs.
Which has very little debt. He wants to remind everybody.
Listen, that's a big deal.
I know.
Big deal. So, good job by the president.
Oh, and did you hear about the stock ticker they want to use for Truth Social?
No.
DJT.
That's a nice ticker.
I think they go live tomorrow, so when he's saying we have to make a decision on what exchange they're going to be on, that would have to be like tonight. I think they go live tomorrow. All right, live from Studio 6B. More when we get back right after this.
Still down from 115.
Shares in the merged company are set to begin publicly trading Tuesday under the ticker symbol DJT.
There you go.
Trump's initials. Under the deal's current terms, Trump will not be allowed to sell shares for at least 6 months. But what is it going to list on? Is it staying on the NASDAQ?
It looks that way. I don't know.
The NASDAQ's a better place for them anyways than the New York Stock Exchange, since it's a SPAC.
It's like individualized, right?
Yeah, they're rolling it up. It's a roll up basically into a SPAC. Doesn't say. It's got to be. It's got to be. They're on the NASDAQ now. They're probably going to stay there, I would think.
What'd you call me?
A SPAC.
They're retired, baby.
Yeah,
that's yesterday's news.
You got a live read?
Two of them.
Two?
Uh-oh.
Ponderous. Effing ponderous.
Ponderous, man. Ponderous.
Thank you, Kermit the Frog.
What movie is that from?
It's Casey Kasem.
Oh, yeah, ponderous, man.
When he finds out, he's listen to the top 40 countdown at 2 a.m. 2?
That's right, when he's trying to read he's reading the, that's right.
The great Harry Oates.
Ponderous.
You definitely need a camera in there. Come on,
Oh, Harry.
NYPD officer shot in Queens today earlier has now died.
Oh, that's terrible. Jesus.
Far
What the
Rockaway.
hell?
Are you going on a boat?
Crazy.
New York.
Subway crimes up 53% since 2019.
Oh, you got a
in
life preserver on.
New York City.
That was orange. Forget it.
Commuter killed after being pushed in front of a moving New York City subway train today in unprovoked attack. New York is just...
Lost it. It's an armpit.
Yes. Yeah. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I have the story, but I didn't want to show the video.
I don't want to show it either.
It's black.
Yeah, it does, but it's a crazy... It's
no, it
like...
just shows you how fucked up people are.
Yeah.
Zombies not far away.
Told you.
Some of the news is not reporting that he was eating it.
Rick, you want
They're like hiding it.
He was
Rick and those zombies.
No, he was like this.
Yeah,
He was like,
yeah.
And then he saw them looking at him like, what the?
Well, something's up, something big, something suspicious. You can't quite pinpoint it, but you can't deny it either. All you have to do is trust your gut. Well, listen to it and prepare with My Patriot Supply. Since 2008, My Patriot Supply has helped millions of Americans and their families prepare for the uncertain future. Many of them chose the 3-month emergency food kits with 22 food and drink varieties. 22 food and drink varieties. There'll be no food boredom. With over 2,000 calories per day, there'll be no starvation. And sealed inside ultra-durable 4-layer packaging, these ready-hour meals last up to 25 years in storage. Stock up on all the food kits your family needs at preparewithrav.com. Go there right now, preparewithrav.com. You'll get each kit for $200 off if you go there today. Protect yourself, protect your people. Get your kits now at preparewithrav.com, preparewithrav.com. And, of course, they'll ship them fast and free. Go check them out right now, preparewithrav.com. Well, let me talk to you about our friends at Birch Gold. You know, financial experts thought we were in the clear. They were anticipating around 6 rate cuts from the Fed this year, and then the inflation data came out. Whoops! Higher than expected. Friends, this isn't going away. Inflation is not, because it can't. U.S. is $34.5 trillion in the hole, and yet we keep printing money, which pushes the prices that you pay every day even higher. So you can either bury your head in the sand, or you can try and do something about it. Diversify a portion of your savings into gold with our friends over at Birch Gold. The Birch Gold Group is your hedge against inflation, and Birch Gold makes it easy to own. They'll help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold, and you don't pay a penny out of pocket. Just text the word America and send it to 989898 and get your free information kit on gold. Then talk to a precious metal specialist on how to protect your savings from persistent inflation, and you can do that with gold. Just text America to 989898. That's America. Type it on your phone. Send a text. Type out the word America. And the number you send it to is just 989898. Real simple, real easy. Send it there, and you'll get your free information kit on gold from our friends over at the Birch Gold Group. All right, 19 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell and My Pillow. Great stuff from Lindell as we get into April here, obviously. Great stuff if you're shopping. He's got some nice stuff over at my store too. He's got some nice travel pillows, some It's got nice little travel pillows. It's got some, with like a Jesus and the cross theme on them. It's got some nice ones. American theme, American flag, some nice ones. Our code LFS6B at checkout will save you great savings, whether it's at mypillow.com, mystore.com, on the pillows, the slippers, the sheets, everything Lindell's got. All great stuff. Mattress toppers, mattresses. Check it out, mypillow.com. Use our code LFS6B. And if you do, send us your receipt showing us you used our code.
Show them what they've won.
Shirt of the month. Woo! You can get absolutely free this shirt for shopping at Lindell and using our code. All you got to do is send us your receipt. Tell us what size you want. I mean, that's a good-looking shirt.
That's a good-looking shirt, especially on a day like today.
And we'll send, exactly. And we'll send it out to you absolutely free. So
that's it. Nice.
Slick Rick, what's going on?
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about the tournament. Big D, Sweet 16 coming up Thursday and Friday. We'll have the scores for you starting Thursday night. You got Clemson taking on Arizona, San Diego State and UConn. Looks like UConn's going to be rolling through that one. Alabama and UNC could be a good one. Illinois and Iowa State, the great state of Iowa. Rick, keep rolling, man. NC State and Marquette. I like Marquette. Gonzaga against Purdue, number 1 Purdue. Duke and Houston, that should be a real good game. Houston barely getting by last night. And Creighton over Tennessee, that's going to be another good game as well. I don't know if they'll beat them, but it's going to be a good game as well. So we got Sweet 16 coming up, which rolls into the Elite 8, and we'll be keeping you up to date on all of those scores.
I see nobody that gives UConn even a sniff of a problem.
I agree. I mean, initially I thought maybe Houston, but
you didn't agree with me when I picked them.
I said I agree with you now.
One night at the
You didn't let me finish. I said, initially when I picked Houston, I thought they were going to roll. But seeing the way UConn, like you said, I don't think anybody's going to – no game's going to be within 10 points.
Mm-hmm. One night at the Blarney Stone with Oates, and all of a sudden you've changed your mind.
I sort of like, hey, that's yesterday's news. That's why I'm wearing this shirt. There we go. Speaking of having Jesus on pillows, listen to this one. Men of Faith, champion NCAA wrestlers proudly wear 100% Jesus headbands. Simon Kent of Breitbart. How about a little good news for a change on this show? Wrestlers displaying headbands with the simple message 100% Jesus were a feature at the NCAA championships over the weekend. College competitors Aaron Brooks and David Carr were two who were happy to display their faith in Jesus Christ in the very public arena. Brooks of Penn State and Carr from Iowa State, there's that great state again, each had white bands over their heads emblazoned with the exhortation. Fox News reports Brooks, along with Nittany Lions teammate Carter Starocci, became 4-time NCAA champions on Saturday night. They joined an exclusive club of 4-time winners, which also included their coach, Cale Sanderson. Brooks beat longtime rival Trent Hidley of North Carolina State. Carr also won a national championship at 165 pounds. He worked hard to stymie Penn State's Mitchell Messenbrink's comeback attempt, and he did just that. So good news there. Both men were proud of their achievements, but also proud to talk about their faith and honor for a higher force. It might be boring. It's the truth. It's the Lord, the Holy Spirit, Brooks said after being asked what was going through his mind after winning a title. The Fox News reported detailed, it keeps me calm, it keeps me poised, but I remember it's bigger than this. Those 4 titles come and go. His word remains forever. So good for those young men coming out like that. I like that. It's good stuff.
We've got like 300 people watching on YouTube, and we only have 78 likes. So if you're watching on YouTube and Facebook, if you could like and share, it really helps us out. So hit the thumbs up button. Slick, continue.
Yes, and NFL team owners approved proposal to ban hip drop tackle. This is Dylan Gwynn of Breitbart. The hip drop tackle sidelined several offensive players for varying amounts of time during the 2023-2024 season, and as such, many wanted to see the technique banned in the offseason. Well, they got their wish. On Monday, the NFL announced that league owners have voted to ban the hip drop tackle, which will take effect immediately. Should defenders use a hip drop tackle in a game, punishment will be a 15-yard penalty. However, offenders could also face fines if the league deems a fine worthy.
I mean, pretty soon in the NFL, the two guys are going to come together as the play starts, and they're going to go, okay, which way do you want to go? Well, I'm going to go left. I'm going to go right. It's going to be... let me blow on you, and maybe you'll fall down. Well, let's just choreograph it. I mean, it's such a joke.
It's going to be so consensual now, right? I mean they might as well just go with the flag football, Big D, like they do in the Pro Bowl now.
Well.
Yeah, it might as well just be flag football. Well, yeah, they try to protect these guys. A lot of guys did get hurt, though, with lower body injuries and stuff like that with the tackle. But
what happened to the lingerie bowl?
I don't know what happened to that.
There's more hitting in that than there is in the NFL pretty soon.
That got tossed in the hamper.
No, they'll have a male lingerie bowl soon.
Yeah. Oh, please, the thought. Anyway, Big D, that's a wrap in sports. Back to you.
All right, Slick, very good. Sports is brought to you by our friend Mike Lindell over at My Pillow. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. So I was talking about Charlie Hurt's piece over at, and we've obviously talked about the president here a lot tonight, but Charlie Hurt, good piece today, talking about Donald Trump's legal instincts are as good as his political instincts, which are as good as his marketing instincts, all of which are as perfect as his Ukrainian phone call was. And what should have been the worst day of Mr. Trump's career, Monday turned out to be one of his best. You've got to hand it to this guy. He's got the Midas touch. Maybe that's why everything he builds, including his toilet fixtures, are gold. He walked into the Manhattan courtroom facing fines of nearly $500 million for what was expected to spark a fire sale of his properties. The media staked out his buildings to watch the padlocks come out. Others predicted that New York authorities would seize his bank accounts. Mr. Trump's own lawyer said last week that he could not afford to pay the massive fine. Then Mr. Trump contradicted them by saying that he had the cash, but that he was going to spend it on his presidential campaign. It was a high-stakes game that would crush any normal person, but Mr. Trump is not a normal person. He thrived. A little bit from Charlie Hurt today over at the Washington Times. Go check it out. It's linked on all our social media. Good piece today. All right, more news with David Zier and Rick Delgado when we get back live from Studio 6B on a Monday. If you're on Facebook and YouTube, stay with us. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm drinking.
Little behind the scenes. See, he's doing right now what I told you. See, he always wants to take the pictures so that can deny having anything to do with
vodka.
Hey, Harry, what's this remind you of last night?
Wait, the girls on the bar. Here we go.
About last night. I told you, it's yesterday's news.
I'm glad this is live on social so they can see what you're doing here on the big screen.
Harry Oates.
Why don't you say hi, Harry?
Hello. There's no microphone and camera anymore.
He took off his life preserver.
Just for you.
Damon's going to be off a few nights. Once you come in, we'll put you right up in the main seat there.
Yeah, I'm on a short week this week, just tonight and tomorrow.
Harry, you are seriously messing with the autofocus on that camera.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my God! Look what you did to Slick's camera.
Oh man, that's
David Zier. It looks perfect now.
Actually, Slick looks better.
That kind of looks like me last night.
Oh, Zier's camera, not Slick's camera.
Zier's camera. It looks good.
Gee, thanks.
Now I can see it.
No respect, I tell you.
Hey. I mean, Harry, could you be more of a camera whore? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Now I know why tigers eat their young.
Got to get the right angle. Harry on the highway.
Anybody buy my shirt?
No. I don't think we've ever sold one. Can someone buy a Harry on the highway shirt? Make Harry happy, please.
Yeah, please buy some shirts.
And we need to get We've got to get David Zier a shirt now into rotation.
Yeah. The only thing we have to Zier is Zier itself.
Well, I'm using the proceeds. No.
I'm not crazy about that.
The proceeds of my shirt.
Oh yeah, right.
My shirt. I'm using the proceeds
well, you have.
so I can pay my medical bills.
You know what it should be?
You're yelling at me like Biden does.
Maybe it should be a
and
shirt.
Did you slap my shoulder too, by the way?
I did.
Okay.
It should be a T-shirt with like a tie and jacket.
I was the original MATA, right?
We do have MAGA by MANA,
depressed
but
again.
it's not. I mean, that was inspired by Zier, but it's when Zier
What's the
needs
matter,
his
you?
own shirt.
Matter you? What's the matter, you?
Bacon Point.
Yeah, we thought about that too, the Bacon Point thing, but there was no.
Yeah,
not everyone will get it.
No, it's true.
I think Zier's face and Santos's face facing each other. Showdown.
It's neither Zier nor there.
Showdown in the jungle.
You know what? You should come up with a product for him. Not a shirt, but a product. Maybe Zier wax.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour. from Studio 6B. We're so off the rails here in the commercial break.
Monday
Harry coming and commanding the studio over, just walking in front of the cameras, messing up the autofocus, taking picture after picture, taking behind the scenes here. Live from Studio 6B on a Monday night, March 25th. Let's 30 minutes past the hour. Well, Charlie Hurt's piece was good today. I'll tell you, there's another piece that's out that's good today is Michael Goodwin. I really enjoy reading Michael Goodwin in the New York Post.
Great.
Yeah, when he comes out with stuff. He's got a good piece today. The media mob's free pass for the Bidens at any sign of scrutiny is no accident. They're all in on it. So check out Michael Goodwin today. Again, all of these are linked on our social media because these are all the things I looked at for the show today. So they're usually on our social media before we do the show. So you can go see them there. Michael Goodwin today in the Post. Very good piece on why you despise the media. And it's just never going to change. And they try to act like, it's like, what's his name? The little doofus who used to do Meet the Press, now feigning outrage about Rona McDaniel coming to NBC as a hired hand. We can't be putting people on here that might not be telling us the truth. I don't know what to believe, what she says. I'll never know whether to believe or not believe anything she says. This is coming from Chuck Todd.
Unbelievable.
This is like, the only one that would have been better is Brian Stetler. All reliable sources, which was the oxymoron of the year. I mean, these people just have no shame. They have no shame. They think we don't remember anything. They don't think we have videos of them lying for all these years, gaslighting us for all these years, propagandizing us for all these years. And then the chief propagandist at NBC goes on NBC to talk about being worried about someone who may not be doesn't know what to believe. And we're supposed to take that seriously. It's just laughable.
Oh, you mean Morning Joe? No, that's MSM.
Well, there's many such examples, but I mean, for Chuck Todd, Mr. asked a question and bite his lip. Do you ever see him interview anybody? He does this thing where he asks a question and he always bites his lip afterwards, like he's trying to be serious. Well, you go back and watch. I swear, every time, especially when it's a Republican he interviews, he's got to take that serious look.
Yeah.
Let's do some news. News is brought to you by our friends over at 7 Cells, 7cells.com. Use our code LFSSB at checkout. Rick Delgado, what's going on?
All right. Well, we played one meltdown earlier with a man so-called named Tristan Snell from MSNBC. But let's stick with MSNBC. Morning Joe and Mika with a case of the frowns here on cut number 10. Talking about what happened with this morning with Donald Trump.
Let's talk about the hiring of former RNC chair Rona McDaniel.
Well, she was on Sunday's Meet the Press. It was her first appearance since NBC News hired her as a political analyst. I know you won't be surprised to know that we've been inundated with calls this weekend, as have at least 7 most people connected with this network, about NBC's decision to hire her. We learned about the hiring when we read about it in the press on Friday. We weren't asked our opinion of the hiring, but if we were, we would have strongly objected to it for several reasons, including, but not limited to, as lawyers might say, Ms. McDaniel's role in Donald Trump's fake elector scheme and her pressuring election officials to not certify election results while Donald Trump was on the phone.
I can't listen to it.
I know.
Such absolute utter nonsense. The two of them to act as if they're going to be. By the way, here's a message to Morning Joe and Mika and everybody at NBC. Do you realize that nobody cares that she got hired? Who cares? She's not a big hire.
Yeah.
It's like, who cares that she's hired there?
Not only that,
like she has nothing interesting to say. She's not compelling to look at. She's not compelling to listen to. She's not compelling in any way, shape, or form at all. She's a total failure as the RNC chair. She's a total failure as a Republican. Her uncle's a total failure in Republican politics as well. Loser in 2012. Loser senator. So who cares that she's hired? Why are you giving her this much? I don't even know why all of you are giving her this much play.
Yeah, she's kind of persona non grata in terms of, people on the right, on the conservative side. So
right, you think people on the right are like, oh, we got to go over there and watch NBC now because we need to know what Rona McDaniel's thinking? Or people who watch your channel, all 150 of them, are really worried about what she's going to come on and say?
Yeah.
Nobody cares on our side what she has to say. Who cares if anyone on your side cares?
Yeah, and did you catch?
Move on.
Did you catch what Scarborough said there as well? When he was bless you.
God bless.
We weren't asked, but if we were, we would have strongly objected.
Right. He said we found out about it in the news when you did. That's the old Obama line. That's the BS line. They all knew what was coming down the pike because they all would have heard about it because it's a very closed system. Somebody comes in for a job interview, somebody talks to somebody, and it spreads like wild. They all knew.
But what does it matter?
Right. But it's just another perpetration of another lie. Oh, we just found out, or else we would have said something. You knew, and you didn't say a damn thing.
If all of them had just let it be and let her do her stupid one appearance that no one's going to remember 5 seconds after she was done, no one's even going to remember when she appears next. I mean, what are they going to do? They're going to force these shows to put her on? Who's going to put her on?
Right.
She's not a compelling guest on any level at all. Ever.
Well, then she'll fit right in.
The way she was talking this weekend, I think they will have her on a lot because she all of a sudden, not that she was ever a big Trumper anyway, but I thought her remarks were disgraceful, completely disgraceful. And they're going to opportunize on that. There was no election fraud. Everything was legit. The J6s are evil. And they're just going to run with it and abuse her and exploit her. And, shame on her for not coming back with more against them this weekend.
Well, she's getting a check. That's all she gets.
Well, right. And that's what we thought, right?
But
in order to get the job, she probably had to say that.
Right.
But let's just remember, why was she in charge of anything on our side? You have to ask yourself. And why did people stump for her when we could have gotten rid of her then? If this is now the feigned outrage that she's over at NBC and everybody's talking about her. Why were we in a position to have her in loser election after loser election after loser election, and then we have a chance to get rid of her? Oh, no, we got to keep her. And we're going to keep all the leadership.
But that wasn't the American people. That was the RNC leadership voting to keep her, right?
Yeah.
So.
I mean, yeah.
But it's the same RNC and the same swampy characters that are pulling all this nonsense into the House.
I think Harmeet would have been better, but I don't think Harmeet made a bull run at it. I don't know if she was feisty enough, so I don't know.
Well, let's see if she can deal with it, and maybe she bit off a little bit more than she can chew over there at NBC. Speaking of which,
all of these things to me point back to us, this party problems more than it reflects on whatever the hell they're doing over there at NBC. I could care less. But you look at someone like her and you go, yeah, how the hell was she the lead person at the RNC for 8-10 years, whatever the hell it was, over 8 losing elections or whatever the hell it seems like. It seems like 10 lifetimes.
Well, look who her uncle was, right? That's how. Nepotism. That's the way it works in the swamp. Anyhow, speaking of biting off more than you can chew, here's a story that I saw over the weekend. I know, David, you said you saw it as well, about this California man arrested after carrying around and biting a severed human leg. Yes, this is going on in America.
What?
Yes. A California man, the dude's name is Rosendo Tellez, was arrested Friday out near Bakersfield, a small town called Wasco, after eyewitnesses saw him strolling through town in what looked to be the entire limb that was attached to a person just earlier in the day. Kern County officials say the leg was illegally taken, as opposed to legally taken, from the scene of a train accident that morning when Tellez is alleged to have swooped in after the man was hit and killed by a train at an Amtrak station in town. Not too long after, citizens say they spotted Tellez holding the leg. Some even claim to Fox 26 News that Tellez was taking bites. I saw the video. It looked like he was taking bites.
I mean, don't they have like In-N-Out Burger and places like there where you can go get food?
Yeah, I don't think this guy had the cash for it.
That was insane.
Is this a real story?
This is a real story.
No pun intended, pulling my leg?
If I pulled your leg, I'd beat you with it because it would be in my hand. No, this guy, it's an actual real news story. You can see the video online. TMZ
There's a video?
Yes,
yeah.
There's video.
Yeah. It's on video.
They blurred it on TMZ, but you can see the guy has this thing in his hand up to his mouth. You just can't see graphic
I think
detail.
I saw it on blurred somewhere. It was I saw the picture and then I watched the video.
I think Harry had the video. He took it himself.
Man, oh man.
Tellez was eventually
check up from the neck up. Man.
Intercepted by sheriff's deputies and was arrested. He was reportedly arrested without incident, booked on several charges, including outstanding warrants.
I mean, what would be the incident to arrest this guy who's got
and for the removal of human remains from a location other than a cemetery. Believe it or not, that's a misdemeanor only in California. So there you have it.
Where's Anna Kasparian when you need her?
Well, she might have something to say on this one. Now, this one, Damon, I wonder if this one is going to sound like something that we've talked about in the past. This story coming from Rolling Stone. Biden is building a superstructure to stop Trump from stealing the election. Now,
like an erector set? Like, what do you mean superstructure?
Keep in mind, now take a listen to the details of this. For years, and again, this is Rolling Stone, so you know it's garbage, a lot of opinion in here. For years, Donald Trump has made it abundantly clear if he doesn't win the 2024 election, he's willing to cheat and steal it. I don't know where they get that from. Since President Biden's inaugural address, according to sources with intimate knowledge of the situation, Biden and his inner circle have been drawing up meticulous plans and creating a large network focused on wargaming a close election finish. Does it sound familiar?
Sure
in
does.
which the former president and Republican Party launched a scorched earth, big lie fueled crusade long before Trump began leading in battleground states and years before he was declared the 2024 candidate. The ex-president and many of his influential allies were already busy plotting ways to tilt the election in his favor. These year-long efforts, conducted both secretly and out in the open, numerous Democratic lawmakers, operatives, and Biden campaign advisors tell Rolling Stone that if the president does ultimately beat Trump, the election will be exceedingly close, and that means they put this plan into gear. Over the past year, Team Biden has been conducting war games, crafting complex legal strategies, devoting extensive resources to prepare for, as one former senior Biden administration official puts it, all hell breaks loose scenarios.
Do you believe, I just want to interrupt you. I'm sorry to interrupt, because I saw someone in the chat say this, and I thought that can't be right. Do you believe Facebook has now said that, has a label on our live video saying violent or graphic content because of the story you just did? We're reporting the news.
Really?
We didn't show any video. We just talked about the news story, about this crazy story in California of this guy. And they slapped up immediately a thing that says violent or graphic content. This video is covered so people can choose whether they want to see it, it says.
Meta is making a big play to shut down conservative media. They did it on Instagram this week, and I got a notice today that I had to agree to a non-discrimination policy and accept that in order to continue posting today. They are coming after us hard in this election year.
All we did is talk. We didn't even show a video.
True.
Yeah,
it's true.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Well, there are crazier things. I'll continue the story if you want after.
Go ahead.
After the
all right, let's
after
hit the break, and then you can continue it.
Yep.
I mean, that's nuts. All right, live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this.
Right? You can't make anybody feel bad with your politics on Instagram. That's what's going to happen this year.
They did.
Don't hurt my feelings.
Well, remember, people can report it as violent, and that goes up while they check.
Because we were talking about the news?
It could just be just random trolls just reporting stuff. That happens all the time.
I mean, that's nuts.
Hey, Dave.
What is it? Unicorn? Who's on it? Yeah, I got that same warning right now, Damon.
I mean, it's crazy.
I guess this stream is demonetized.
I don't care about that. I don't even set monetization for these live streams.
No, there were ads popping up. Yeah.
There was ads on the stream too?
On the bottom of the stream, there was a little pop-up.
Violent or graphic content. Really?
No, I didn't even show the TMZ.
I mean, and there's not even a way for me to like reply being like, no, we didn't show anything. Well, it's obviously, an algorithm or something, or somebody, like Fran said, somebody reported it, got their feelings hurt. Well, no, Harry, I don't think we have to call them bitches. I don't think it's a little strong. It's a little strong.
It's biatch.
We all live here. I do not do Facebook.
Welcome to Bizarro World, Chris Allen says. Exactly right. Crazy.
Yeah, it's all going to get turned on its ear this year, around September. So get your insults in now.
Philco 4D. They had you guys shut down as porn when you asked Rick if he'd been dancing on the bar.
Yeah, exactly. Might as well have done that. That's a good point. I mean, that's about the same level of stupidity.
Yep.
Might as well, yeah, exactly.
That was a good one right there.
Yeah, I know everybody's saying, Facebook sucks. I understand that, but I got to go to where the people are.
That's where they are.
14,000 followers. All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night. Make sure you follow us on all our social media at LFS6B.
While you still can.
While you still can. Before we get flagged for who knows what, for just talking about the news, not even showing anything. Like, who was the viewer who said what, Slick, in the break? That's a great comment.
Oh, about me dancing on the bar. Yeah.
Said,
That the graphic content?
I'm surprised that they didn't flag you for porn when you were talking about dancing on the bar at St. Patty's Day with Slick and Harry. That's about as stupid as what they just did on... I mean, all we did is talk about an article. We didn't show anything. I mean, come on.
I know, it's true.
And we're talking about a story that was on TMZ.
Yeah,
much bigger than our show.
Did they put a warning on them?
No.
I mean, come on. I think we got to do a better job with the algorithm than that, or however that happened. I mean, I'm not even paying attention here. All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's do. What do you want to continue with the news? We kind of cut you off there because I was shocked by that when I saw that guy comment that happened. I went over and said that can't be right.
Yeah,
sure enough.
Again, going back to that superstructure thing that the Biden team is planning. And I asked you particularly what that reminded you of. Did you come up with an answer?
Yeah, when he did the video of saying we've built the biggest election fraud, whatever, in the history of whatever.
Nope. Not where I was going anyway. This time around, since they're considering this to be a much closer election, Team Biden's in-house counsels and networks of outside lawyers are currently preparing legal strategies for scenarios that would make Florida look like child's play, it says here. Sources in and around the president say the Biden campaign is wargaming, informed by questions asked by aides where they try and figure out what it could look like. Prep work accelerated in the final few weeks, and they're talking about running through a range of authoritarian possibilities, including one scenario in which Trump called out the National Guard either as a show of force or an attempt to enforce his fictitious victory.
Stop.
According to the scenario.
Nonsense.
I only bring this up because it really sounds like the Transition Integrity Project all over again, where they ran through all these scenarios in case of a tight election.
They're so nervous. They're just getting nervous. Yeah. And they damn well should be.
And where they called for a street fight instead of a fight in the courts.
Listen, at this rate, I don't know. The American people are not stupid. They're just not. And I've said this over and over again, and of course people, Damon, you're so naive. And it's fine, I probably am. But everybody has a line. everybody has a line. Everybody is not always going to vote at their own demise. And at the rate this administration and this guy's going, and God forbid if anything happens with all of the people that we've let in this country between now and the election, I mean, he could lose. I mean, this could be a Reagan-like. I mean, I know people say that can't happen again because of all the cheating and the election fraud. But as President Trump and others keep saying, we have to swarm him at the polls so badly that it just doesn't matter, that he could win all 50 states.
Yeah.
The Emerson poll out today has him leading every single swing important state: Arizona, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, every one of them. He's in the lead. And Emerson has been one of the more accurate polling places for the last few election cycles. And I understand they're going to do all their devious, and they're going to make every push in the book they can, and they're going to, again, this is the problem. This is where the RNC has to get it together so that we're doing everything we can, early balloting, ballot harvesting where it's legal. We have to have every base covered. We have to have legal fights starting where we need to have legal fights. We need to know where Mark Elias and all of his thugs are going into, and we need to be countering all of that. But putting all of that aside, when it just comes down to the American people and the lives they lead and the kids they want to raise and the life they want to have and the house they want to own and the security they want to have and the crime they want to get rid of, they damn well should be nervous, because America's going to step up and speak in November if this gets worse or even just keeps up.
Yeah, and real quick, I'll finish up with this. Charlie Kirk, did you hear about him in TP Action? They're hiring a full-time army of ballot chasers in states that it's legal, Arizona and Wisconsin. So you're going to have, you know what? Those are your rules. Fine, we'll play by your rules, and you got to live with your consequences. So.
Yeah. All right. Very good. We'll do some more news. Well, actually, we won't do more news with Delgado. This is the last segment, Damon. Yeah. So let's do a little more with David Zier, then we'll wrap it up with sports. Mr. Zier, what else is on your mind?
I just wanted to mention, I've been covering Trump for over 5 years. Been around him a long time, about 8 years off and on. There's nobody who can field questions like Donald Trump. Vivek might be the only other one that I really...
He's very good at it, too.
Ted Cruz is good at it. Mm-hmm. But Trump makes you feel important. I was in a press gaggle with him in New Hampshire, looks right at you, picks on, takes the question. There's nothing like it. And I think that's the factor that he's got, that the other candidates didn't. DeSantis didn't have it. Haley definitely didn't have it. And he's commanding. He has a commanding authority over it. I just want to mention that because I'm always amazed by it. And it's just real. Just a couple of really quick things here. Joe Biden lied to the special counsel, Robert Hur, about this incident that jump-started his political career. And where are the charges for, like, perjury or lying? He was at a law firm way back in the day. William Prickett, a lawyer, he worked at Prickett in 1968. He said they asked him to work on a case, and he didn't like what he did during the case, and it made him give up his career in law. Yeah. And that's when he went pro bono or wanted to work in the public. The problem is the case that he was talking about happened before he worked there.
Yeah. This is while he was maybe a smoke jumper and a civil rights leader and a teacher at the University of Penn. And if there was charges for everything Biden said he had a career doing or didn't do that was untruthful, he'd be in jail for 4 million years. I mean, come on.
I believe it's 4 million billion.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable what this guy gets away with. And just really quick, there were classes at a college, I think in Ohio State University here, and the political economy of climate change and the political philosophy of climate justice. Part of the curriculum was how to blow up a pipeline. So that's what's going on in American colleges these days. And Mayor Adams broke bread with gang members in a Wide-Eye, which is a hot area of Manhattan, downtown, the financial district. Or is it it was Wide-Eye? Is it Wide-Eye or Wide-Eye? I don't even remember now. I'm sorry, I got that confused. But it was in Manhattan, and he meets with drug dealers in the restaurant in a Burger King. They took over the restaurant. They meet there, and he had a Whopper summit with them. them. Nobody can explain it. It's unbelievable. Mayor Adams has such contempt for the people. He walked inside the Burger King, met with the alleged drug dealers inside. A witness said there's pictures of him, and the neighborhood has been complaining about these drug dealers who took over this area, but it's downtown Manhattan. It's such a joke. Mayor Adams is a disgrace. Subway crime up 53% since 2019 in New York City.
He told them to chill.
All right, David Zier, very good. Host of Breaking Point, watch Saturday morning. Slick, let's wrap it up. What else is going on in sports?
Hold the pickles, hold the lettuce. Getting pumped here doesn't upset us. Escaped Pennsylvania felon captured leaving Philadelphia Planet Fitness. Real quick here, Dylan Gwynn of Breitbart. Planet Fitness calls itself a judge zone, but one patron who had been judged by a court of law found himself in the handcuffs as soon as he walked out of the gym. Isaiah Robert Timlin, 33, a felon who escaped from a Western Pennsylvania prison nearly 4 months ago, was arrested by U.S. Marshals after leaving a Planet Fitness in Philadelphia on Friday. Tillman fled the Blair County prison where he was being held on drug charges and parole violations on December 3rd. The inmate then stole a red F-150 and drove across the state to get back to Philadelphia. However, Tillman was spotted in the Kensington area of Philly on Friday. At some point, Tillman acquired a black BMW. Must have got a good loan. It was this vehicle that the authorities traced to Planet Fitness. According to Fox 29, more than 20 agents were waiting for the escapee when he exited. Planet Fitness is getting some black eye from him, so let me tell you. That's a wrap in sports.
As always, we salute our military, active and active police, firefighters, first responders, all emergency personnel, all our truckers, all our farmers. Thanks, everybody on the show. Aaron Frank, great job as always. Harry on the highway. See you over at Cairns. Most of all, thank you to Live from Studio 6B audience. We'll see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. right here live from Studio 6B.
No Cairns.